My name is Nick Leah, and I am one of the community engagement specialists here at Church World Service. And if you're watching this, you're probably a new coordinator. And from all of us here at the engagement team, we just want to say thank you. Thank you for giving your time, your passion, and your excitement for being a coordinator for the CROP program. It's going to be an incredible journey, and we're here with you every step of the way. For my time with the CROP Chat, I wanted to talk a little bit about Your Walk Means Business and how you can help take your walk to the next level by getting some business support. To get us started off, let's talk about the different types of business support. So in my mind, there are two major forms of business support. There are businesses that sponsor your walk, and these are businesses that are looking for some type of promotion and want to help towards the expenses of making your walk day something really exciting for people to be a part of. But there's also businesses that want to participate in the walk, that want to show what they value and that they want to be a part of your community. So first up, we're going to go through business sponsors. So as mentioned, a business sponsor is probably what you're more familiar with. When you think about things like 5Ks or half marathons, it might be the Huntington half marathon or the so-and-so marathon or things brought to you by this company or that company. The same thing would apply for your walk. There are many expenses that go with a walk. Things like promotion, if you want to have signs or banners, or you want to be able to print stuff off at Staples, all of that costs money, and we don't want you to have to front the cost of that. And so that's where we try to seek businesses to help us out. So in this case, a business sponsor donates towards expenses related to the work of the walk in exchange for various levels of marketing promotion. What's the important distinction here is that in this case, in a majority of cases, funds do not go to the overall walk goal, they go into a separate account. And we'll talk about that account and what it looks like a little bit later on in the presentation. But on the slide, you'll see a couple examples of expenses that are pretty common across most crop walks. Things like t-shirts, which on the Crop Walk Resources website, you'll see a few examples of t-shirts that we have available each year, or other walk giveaways. Maybe you want to have little bracelets for people to have, or little pins or stickers or anything like that. You might consider paying for a few social media ads just to target people who might want to participate in your walk. It's always good to have food at the walk, especially like the halfway mark, having some bananas, some Gatorade, things to help refill people's battery. Or you, like I mentioned, banners, signs, feather signs, stuff like that. As part of the business sponsor, they're going to want something from you as well, and that's promotion. And so a couple ideas can be having their logo on your One Cause website, or you might in your emails out to them say special thanks to this business for helping make our walk possible. Depending on the level of support, you may even want to call them out on walk day right before your rally. When people take that first step off, just say, hey, thank you one more time to this bank or this business for helping make our walk possible today. I've seen a few walks do some pretty creative ideas of having little sponsor yard signs at each of the mile markers, and the yard sign has the business logo and just saying something along the lines of, you know, this mile brought to you by so-and-so. So that is a business sponsor. But the other form of support is business recruitment. And a business recruitment is like any other church participant. They simply form a team, and the funds that they raise, they go to help achieve the overall walk goal. So generally in this case, businesses don't receive any additional type of promo that any other team would have. So they're not going to have their logo on your website. They're not going to be specially called out. They're not going to receive some gold star for participating. But they do make a drastic difference in helping you achieve your walk goal and possibly even allow you to extend your walk goal to a larger sum. So now that we know the difference between the two types of business support, who do you ask? Well, first and foremost would be places that you currently work. And many businesses will offer a type of matching program. And we even have a system built into One Cause to see if your current employer is already listed in our matching program. And then we will automate that process to help you receive a form that you'll give to your employer, and then they can match your fundraising efforts. Or if it's a place that you retired from and still have good connections and community with, reaching out to say that you've found this new passion and that you'd really appreciate their continued support. Places that you visit frequently, or you know the owner. So I'm a remote worker, but that doesn't mean I like to spend all my days in my house. I like to get out in my community. I like to work at different coffee shops. And if I visit a coffee shop frequently and get to know the staff and get to know the owner, then we have a relationship. And to kind of take that relationship to the next level, I want to show them what I value and my belief in ending world hunger. And I want to invite them to be a part of that. And they value you as a customer, and they want to support you as much as you have supported them. 3, businesses that have language on their website about social give back or principles that stand or align with your walk. So this can be a little bit harder to find and can really have you kind of going down some rabbit holes, I'll admit. But if you look on some of the tabs for some larger businesses on like the About Us, there might be things that say like our values, manifesto, our give back options. Many businesses are trying to be a bit more value driven, especially in our current culture. And if a business says something along the lines of, you know, we believe in giving back to our community. For example, there's a t-shirt place in downtown Rockford where I live, and 10% of all of their profits go back to things in the community. They were a natural ask to help us join the crop walk because they already want to give back to their community. There might be places like that in your area, and it's always a good thing to look out for. 4th, this one may not be as obvious, but your church foundation or your missions team. Because churches, especially today, they all need marketing. Everyone needs to get their message out. Everyone could use the benefit of having their name on a yard sign at the mile marker or being called out the day of the walk. And so many churches have an endowment and are often managed by a team in the church, foundation team, an endowment team, something along the lines of that, maybe the trustees. And simply approaching the church and saying, would you be willing to use some of the funds of the endowment to help be a sponsor for our walk and help make the walk possible? Or every year your church makes a budget, and the missions team, or perhaps like the women's group, might receive a certain allocation of that budget. And you could approach them and ask, would they be willing to give part of their annual budget to support the Crop Hunger Walk? And then finally, your local agency. So as part of the crop walk, 25% of those funds are going to be given back to some agency or agencies in your community. But the best walks, in my experience, are the ones where it's a true collaboration. It's a true partnership. For example, and I am relatively new, I admit, but there is a walk in Janesville, Wisconsin, and the partner group is called Echo, and Echo is a fantastic partner. They help to cover many costs of the walk, such as providing food day of the walk. They help us print out posters. They send out letters and postcards and yard signs and all this kind of stuff because they know that they're going to get a good kickback from the walk total. And because of that, they also really get their board involved, and they ask their board to help support and promote the crop walk, because the more and more and more people that know about it, the more and more that your local agency receives as well. So make sure to not feel shy about asking for their involvement. You really value that partnership, and I bet so do they. All right, so you kind of know who you want to look out for, but how do you go about that? Well, I got a couple tips. So start by writing a letter, and in that letter, sell the impact, sell the story. Keep it simple and to the point on how to donate. What I mean by that is don't make the business have to research how to do it. Make a quick paragraph saying that, hey, this is the Crop Hunger Walk and it supports ending hunger locally, nationally, and globally. Something along the lines of that. And I've been participating for so and so years, or this is how many years it's been a part of our community. And then include a QR code or a link, or even I've seen some walks like print out screenshots of the exact page on our website, and then filling in the blanks for them, saying something along the lines of like, you'll need to fill in, this is the name of the walk, this is the name of your business, this is for business support, Really spell it out and make it super easy, and that'll increase your chances. Always try to deliver that letter in person, and then ask if you can follow up. So it's one thing to say, hey, I love your support. Thank you so much for your consideration, and walk out the door. It's a very, very different thing to say, hey, I love your support, and is it okay if I reach out to you next week or stop in next week to see what you're thinking? That holds them to a little bit of accountability and yourself to accountability, and it shows that you're really invested in the cause. So the next two tips are something I learned at my most recent visit to the peer-to-peer fundraising forum. For small businesses, it's really important to be flexible. What I mean by that is smaller businesses have a much lower profit margin, and they also have varying seasons of success. So they might be in a time where they have lots of extra funds and they're happy to give fully to the walk, or it might be kind of a downtime and they're waiting for spring to roll around, so to speak. But they might still believe in the cause and definitely might still need that marketing. So be willing to have a meeting, sit down with the owner or a manager and discuss possibilities. Maybe they can't reach the full $100 minimum donation you're looking for, but they can give you $50 right now and then $50 of in-kind services, such as coffee the day of the walk or a gift card or a voucher or something along the lines. But for larger businesses, they are inundated with requests and they really don't have the time to discuss what that giving is going to look like. So it's important to be very specific and give limited choices. So for example, your letter might say, here to support the crop walk, ending hunger, and then you can either give 150, 250, or 500, and this is what each of those will give you. One's a logo on the website, one's a shout out in our emails, and one is a shout out the day of the walk, as well as all the other benefits. Keep it straight and to the point. And finally, lean into the legacy of the Crop Hunger Walk. So there are a lot of fundraisers nowadays, and there are plenty of walkathons as well. But I would be willing to bet that the Crop Hunger Walk in your community is one of the oldest and one of the first walkathon fundraisers, and also probably one of the few, if only, that gives back a portion of those proceeds to benefit something local in the community, as well as something much larger than that. So your CES can help you with this. They can tell you how many years your walk's been going on for. They can give you the lifetime giving of your walk. They can even give you an idea of where your walk places within the nation. And sometimes selling it and saying that we're the 100th best walk in the nation may not sound super impressive to people if they don't know the full context of how many walks there are. But to be able to talk to a business and say that we're a top 20% walk, well, that sounds pretty cool. All right, now why would a business want to participate? If they don't want to sponsor, how would you recruit them? So one thing that's been really interesting in the last few years, and especially now that Gen Z is starting to approach the age of employment, is that consumers are very value driven now. We used to simply go shop at places because it was the cheapest, or it fit our style, or we just enjoyed it. But now a lot of people are buying stuff because the company represents the values that they have. And so a business recognizing this shift in the culture can stand out from their peers by showing that they value global hunger and community events. Employees want to know that their employer stands for something more than the benefits of their salary they offer. The second thing is that fundraising, it is a tremendous skill for any person. And for an employer, it's a tremendous thing for their employee to know. Fundraisers are not just marketers, but they're storytellers. And we may not want to think about it, we're salespeople. We're relationship builders. We are refined communicators. And every business could benefit from their employees practicing this skill. 3 is team building. Employee culture is also becoming a really evolving topic among HR. And team building and inclusion is top of the priority list. So encouraging employees to form teams is not only rewarding the top teams within your business, is a really great way for businesses to be incentivizing that employee culture. And the most, least heartfelt one, I suppose, is that there's tax benefits. Donations that go directly to the walk are tax write-offs, so that's always a bonus. Now, one of the other areas of not business sponsorship necessarily, but a great kind of low-hanging fruit to get funds towards your walk are restaurant fundraisers. Restaurant fundraisers, you might be familiar with these from like your PTO or for maybe your church has done it in the past. But the idea is you approach a business, and then as long as people bring a flyer or show a QR code or show an email or just mention it at the restaurant, then a certain proceeds of the sales will then be returned to the walk. Now, these are some of the top popular national brands from a website that I was able to find that have the highest percentages and are often kind of the easiest to work with. So just a few examples, but there's many, many more, are things like Chipotle, Panera, Panda Express, and Little Caesars. But also look into your local options. People want to support their local places. So I'm here in the kind of greater Chicago area, and Portillo's and Culver's, ooh, we love that out here. And those are fantastic fundraisers for walks in our community. And not only is it something local for people to support, but it's also a perfect, just natural opportunity to ask for them to form a team and be a part of your walk. And last thing I'll mention with the restaurant fundraisers is be a bit varied. So don't offer too many of them, and then offer them on different days of the week, and offer different varieties. So maybe you have something a bit more casual, something a bit more expensive, do something that might be breakfast, and then also offer a dessert option. And that way people can be a little bit more diversified in their options for which one they pick, or if they choose to go to all of them. All right, we're coming to the end, friends. So at the very top, I mentioned business sponsors and how the proceeds of that go to your business account. So there are two ways to handle this. Your treasurer can either keep a separate account that they manage that's just your business expenses. That can be a little complicated because many times you have to open up a separate business account at a bank, and you have to have multiple signatories, and it's kind of a pain. Or CWS offers you a great service in our Friends of Crop program. And this is where the businesses will send the money to Elkhart specifically, and then we will let you know how much is in your account. You make purchases, and then we just reimburse you for the purchase. And we manage all of that stuff, so you don't have to ask your treasurer to manage yet another account. Your CES can help you get this set up for you, so just mention that you're interested or want to know more information about the Friends of Crop. And as we end, I just again want to say thank you so much for the work that you do as a coordinator. You are vital to all of the programs that we do here at CWS are vital because of you. And you're not on your own. Your CES is with you every step of the way, and make sure you're delegating. Business support doesn't have to sit on you. You can ask someone on your committee to help you in this role. Maybe they were a salesperson in the past and it's a natural thing for them to do. So if you have any questions from my presentation specifically, here's my information, or reach out to your local CES. Thank you.